Hey guys, it's Lex
and Courtney,
and you are listening to another episode of The Pleasure's All Yours. We are here encouraging sexual liberation in the Black and queer communities.
Yes, we are here to laugh, learn, and discover all the ways that the pleasure is
all yours.
It's all yours, baby. Hey guys,
what up?
We are here again.
Take two,
baby. Second week of May. God damn. No, third week of May.
Is
God damn.
Yeah. Oh, because May was like in April still. Like it was in the same week.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I love the way that you said that because it didn't make any sense.
May was in April.
I got it.
May was in April, y'all.
You know. Hey guys. So okay. I just wanted to catch up. I feel like I haven't caught up with you.
Yeah.
You know? How's life going?
Life's okay. You know, a lot of different things have been happening.
Okay.
I know you've been wanting to talk about me.
Well, I'll get there. Okay. I have an outline.
Oh,
and
sorry.
And I put it in the outline. Because
I knew you weren't going to literally, I was like, the next time we get in the studio, Courtney is not going to let me go through an episode without talking about it.
And you know what? This time, I feel like I'm so loud.
Oh.
This time, that might not be mine. This one's mine. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry about that. This time I think it's perfect because I actually have a little bit more of a segue. Like,
okay.
I think the last few weeks it was just me being like nosy, but now I feel like we can work it into the pod and we can make it like a thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I don't even think I've talked about it in detail with you because you're like, we have to talk about this on the pod.
It's been a month.
It has been a month. Yeah, it has been a month.
Okay. So, first of all,
yes.
I wanted to acknowledge that I've been watching Hoochie Daddies season 2.
Yes, you were telling me this.
On YouTube. So now it's on YouTube. It used to be on Tubi.
Uh-huh.
So now if you never had Tubi or you didn't want to download it, you can just watch it on YouTube.
Okay.
Type in Hoochie Daddies season 2. And they also have Hoochie Daddies season 1 on YouTube now too. It's a mess. It's always been a mess. Last season, I think, was a super mess. I think this one, the girls have a little bit more sense on their hands. But the problem is, it's just so much toxic masculinity going on in the house. Like, they argue about everything. Like, niggas were arguing about who had a shot out of somebody else's Hennessy bottle. Like, there is 12 of y'all. And
who
y'all
gives
are sharing,
a fuck, bro?
Please give it a rest. And then also, this is not a stud hate train because I love me a good mask individual. These niggas.
That doesn't mean stud always though. That's true. Especially for you.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true. I want to love the studs. I really do. I really do. They can't dress. Not the ones in this.
Why do you look like a gang of mindless behavior? Fucking, and not even I just mean the general vibe. Every time I see a stud, I'm like, you look like somebody's little brother.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I don't understand it.
Yeah,
I have a lot of. I really should start writing down my thoughts. Actually, hold on. No, because I did. My cousin and I watch it together. So when I was watching it, I sent her this super long text. Okay, these are the questions I have. These are the things I really don't understand about. Okay, here we go. First of all, I want to say, if you're starting off on season 1, please, you have to get through the audio and the camera quality. It's not there. They basically have one camera and one mic for 14 people, including the host. So it's just a lot of yapping and you can't really understand. But season 2 is a little bit better. They have a few more mics and the camera quality is way 10 out of 10, way better. Question though. So what is it about studs that make them want to get eyebrow tattoos of other bitches' names
or the lips on their neck?
Lots of that.
Or
the name on the neck.
Why every stud got Noah Ebony and got her name tattooed on their neck?
No, this one stud has Jessica written on here. The other one has Ashley.
Okay.
And it's literally 5 out of the 8 contestants. 5 of them have eyebrow tats. So I have questions about that. And then this episode or this season is shot in Houston. They shot it in January. So I'm wondering why all the competition is outside.
Oh, because it's fucking Texas, and I know it was cold.
Freezing. Like, and there people, you can hear the wind in the camera, and then you see everybody, and they literally are talking about it while they're getting dressed. They're like, yo, nobody really told us we was gonna be outside. None of us really brought shit to like wear outside. They're like layering up on their polos and their t-shirts. And they're like, I don't want to crease up my J's. They didn't tell us we was gonna be running. Like, just wild shit. And like, you just see everybody look so uncomfortable. I'm wondering, production,
what was going on?
It's January. But I do love that Woody's the host. I don't know if you heard the song Hoochie Daddies all the way live. Hoochie's Daddies come outside.
Not even a clip.
Okay. Anyway, that's the person that created Hoochie Daddies, but that was their song that went viral.
Okay.
I love that they're supporting the local studs and highlighting the local stud brands because every episode they have like a sponsor and they're like, she'll say the brand name a bunch of times and like, it's cool. I really fuck with that.
Giving back to the community,
raising up a community that is definitely like silenced and squashed, you know, black women, but black masculine presenting women. Yeah. Definitely not going to get the shine, you know? So I love that. And then there's a lot of fat phobia, especially in the first few episodes. There's a lot of fat phobia. There's like two, like on the bigger side people and zero respect. Like the way that others treat them is just like.
I feel like that's a common denominator in the queer community, especially with, I just feel like with gays across the board. And I know like, especially with like lesbians, it is kind of a thing. I don't know like what that is.
That's so crazy to me.
Yeah.
Like, in this scenario, obviously these studs aren't really attracted to each other. There are a few that are like, they've been saying like,
I do like stud for stud. I do. I
you
can't
are
subscribe
such a complicated individual. Can you explain that?
I don't know. I think that
what makes it's like how a negative plus a negative, how a negative times a negative is a positive, but a negative by itself is still a negative. Like,
I think them together away from me is great. I'm saying like visually, like I think like visually, like I can see it and I like it. Like I can see like stud for stud and I'm like, hell yeah. I bet you y'all be wearing each other J's too, huh? I like it.
I love that.
I like that.
Yeah,
I feel like that's where they should be. And I only think that because I think like studs can understand studs and they can understand like why they act the way they do, why they say the things they do, like why they're that way. Yeah. And I feel like two of them together figure it out together and like kiss. Yeah. Also.
Yeah. I do like the little stud for stud things I see on TikTok. They're always so funny.
And I think it's also comes from me like liking like gay shit and like seeing gay men together. I'm like, this is good.
Fuck societal norms.
Yeah.
Make my pussy wet.
And a stem and a stud, baby.
Yeah, that's a good combo.
I think that'd be a really great combo.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I don't know how we got on this topic. Oh, because obviously there's not too many studs in there that are like attracted to the other studs. So it's not like from a sexual standpoint. It's just like the way they're like generally accepted and like the things that they say. Like, oh my gosh. Okay.
Please.
See, I'm sorry. Episode 4. It was really horrible actually. But almost made me want to stop watching this season. But episode 4, the competition is they go outside and they pick up 2 femmes. Like, and they have to carry them up a hill and like back around and come back down and like they time you get timed. So like the person with the shortest amount of time that can carry this girl up the hill the fastest wins. So of course these girls are like very normal size, like seriously like as middle of the road, like size 10 to 12 American Southern black woman. Okay. As middle of the road as you can get. Okay. Not a lot of ass, not a lot of titties, like normal. These bitches were like because they couldn't carry them. So they'd be like, damn, you gonna give me the fat girl? You got this big ass bitch. This big ass bitch is sitting on my back cheering me on, talking about go, you could do it. Girl, shut the fuck up. I need you to lose about 10 pounds. Like, I'm literally like,
maybe go to the gym.
Nigga, yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah.
She weighs like maybe 170. That's the average person. Please don't come for me like that. It was really hard to watch. Yeah. Anyway. Still watch Hoochie Daddies, support the stud community, support black women, support black women businesses. I fuck with it. If anything, it's funny. It's funny for me to comment on with my cousin who has a stud partner.
And Atlanta like, stud partner at
truly, that. And like
you have to make that distinction.
They are so funny. Oh, you can watch Let's Talk About Love? Or no, that's not the episode. It's like something
with Sid and Diamond.
Yeah. It was back in February. One of our Valentine's Day episodes. So if you want to go watch them, they are hilarious together. But Sydney is always just like talking about how she doesn't subscribe to that kind of stuff behavior.
Yeah,
and like I get it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Anyway, that's my Hoochie Daddies spiel, and we're moving on. To transition.
Yes.
I am single.
Yes.
Okay. I have been single for a few weeks, and I'm happy. I'm very happy. I'm sad that like a part of my life is over, and that this person is not like this kind of person to me anymore.
Yeah.
However, I feel like a really big sense of relief.
Yes.
To not have to have any expectations from anybody else except for me.
Yeah.
Because, I spent a lot of the last like year or two like kind of tearing down that part of my relationship with my parents, like with expectations.
Mm-hmm.
So now that I don't have expectations of a partner either, it's like I really can just like do what I feel like doing.
Mm-hmm.
Physically, sexually, mentally, emotionally, like business wise. I just don't care.
Yeah.
And I really love that for me.
Mm-hmm. It's very freeing to like do that. And like it adds a different level of confidence too.
It does.
Yeah.
And I just honestly feel like my days have just been a little lighter in general.
Yeah.
Not of any fault to my partner at all. Like it's not even about that. I think it's just really because I just made it a decision that I had been wanting to make for a while. Mm-hmm. And now that I had made it, the universe is like, hey, here's a little bit of reward.
Yeah.
Like the world is a little bit brighter for you.
Yeah.
Here's a little treat in your basket.
And I love that.
Yeah. Thank you. We were talking last night.
Yeah.
About how like we were super horny.
Yeah.
And I was just, you had mentioned like that I should get on Grindr to find somebody, because I was talking about how like either people on her, like they don't really respond very quickly. Like if it's Friday night and like I want to hang out or something, the likelihood, like if it's past 5 o'clock, that I'm going to like find somebody that like really wants to hang out is slim to none.
Yes.
Or the people that do are weird, right?
Yeah.
So you were like, girl, go on Grindr. I don't know. So I said, I wish that we could just be like Grindr and like be like, hey, I'll meet you in the back alley in 20 minutes.
I'm like, just go on Grindr.
And you're just like, go on Grindr.
Yeah.
So then I was like, no, I think that'll be like it's a little much.
Yeah.
Like
I think Alexis Jade is the one that has like had success stories, has told me about Grindr.
And I'll have to reach out to them because I'll do it one day. But here's why I'm saying this, okay? Literally, Lex, 30 minutes after our conversation of me saying I want something quick and easy and fast and like.
Did somebody message you?
Yeah, right? And so I'm like, and they were cool, 29. They had a lot of the same interests that I have on their profile. Yeah. And like, so I was like, oh my gosh, like, I craft too. I do this too. And eventually she was like, okay, well, you can add me on Snapchat. And I'm like, cool. Like, I don't usually do that shit. Yeah. When people ask me about Snapchat, I don't give it out. But I said, I'm a new bitch, and this is what I want. She seemed like she DTF. Snapchat is where you figure out.
I literally was thinking that.
Yeah. So I'm like, I have to play.
Because are you gonna send me a titty pic as soon as we add each other, or what?
They can. So like, we move our conversation to Snapchat. We talked for like a few seconds about what we're doing. I told her I was watching Hoochie Daddies, and she's like, okay, well, I'm about to go to bed. And I'm like, okay, cool. Hold on. I'm like, okay, cool. Good night. Okay. It was like 1 in the morning. Okay. And not even like 10 minutes later, she messaged me again. She's like, actually, I think I'll be up for a while, so never mind. And I was like, oh, what changed your mind? And she was like, well, honestly, I was looking at your pics and I got really horny. And I was like, okay.
Hell yeah.
I'm cool with that. I said I like that reaction. I didn't think any of my pictures on her were like super sexual.
Or you're just sexy in general.
Thanks. Yeah. And I said that or whatever. And she was like, it's this, and this. And then she was like, I have a question though, but I don't want to scare you off. And I'm like, okay, like, let's get into it. Like, okay. I was thinking it was going to be like, so what are you on her for? Mm-hmm. Are you interested in like linking up?
Did she say, are you into scat play?
Bitch, she might as well. She said, so what's your experience with anal? And I'm like, what? Okay. I don't have any pictures of my ass on her. Yeah. I don't have any. We have not talked sexually at all. Yeah. We're talking about crafting. Literally, we were talking about crafting. And immediately she's like, so have you ever done anal before? What's your experience with anal? What do you mean? Like, yeah. And I said I wanted something that was like, done, easy, quick. I didn't.
But
I feel like you prepared for that.
I feel like you also have to trust someone to let them put something in your butt.
That's my thing.
Because like, what's your experience with anal?
Yeah. Exactly. And actually, I asked that. I said, I mean, I've experienced it a few times, but it's not something I do often. What's your experience? Oh, and I said, I actually have never even tried it with a woman.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, what's your experience with anal? And then she responded and said that she loves it and she's done it a few times since high school.
So is that 29. Like her preferred thing?
I didn't, let me finish.
Okay.
She was like, I would love to be your first time. And I said, okay, well, that's not really something I do with people that I'm not familiar with. Like, it wouldn't happen on like the first or second link at all. Like, for sure. And then like she was like, oh, well, I love that. I'm willing to wait. Like, whatever. And then she was like, we can go to Chili's and get something to drink tomorrow. Like, if you want to meet up. I said, okay, maybe. And then she was like, do you smoke? Like, it just turned into this weird conversation where I was just kind of like turned off by the anal comment in the first place, because why are we
jumping right there?
Jumping to anal. Like, we're not even sure if like we want to kiss each other, and you want to talk about anal.
Yeah. And
then she sent me a picture of like straight puss and like her body.
Yeah.
I was just like, this is a lot for me. Like, I feel like I needed a little bit more
mental stimulation.
Yeah, and also just like let's take steps.
Yeah.
Let's take baby steps. So I really was not feeling it. So like I ended the conversation. I was like, oh, you're beautiful, love it, you know. Then I ended the conversation, and then I woke up, and then I just unfriended them on Snapchat. And then I unfriended them on her.
Yeah.
I just wasn't, the vibe wasn't there for me after that conversation. And it's just funny that we were literally talking about how I just wanted something quick and dirty. And now I got presented with something quick and dirty, and I was like, I guess a little more fluff.
I guess like it really is like I feel like it really is the anal thing, because it's like, I don't know. I also wouldn't on the first link, mostly because like I know how painful that can be. And I don't know, like, if it's something you're used to, but I'm not used to, do you have the capability to, like...
Be patient?
I don't know. And I don't know you like
That's
that.
So personal. You have to trust that somebody's going to respect your boundaries.
And listen to you when you say, this is hurting. Okay, can we use some... Like, yeah. And at 1 a.m, like, that's going to be a quick little something.
And I wasn't...
Most likely.
I wasn't wanting to hook up, like, that night. I was thinking more, like, tonight or something.
Yeah.
But it was just... Yeah. So... I'm approaching things a little differently now. I'm like, okay.
I think like having some good PG combo to like kind of gauge what kind of person this is, and then like, I don't know, I feel like you can talk to someone for maybe like a few hours and figure out like if
the chemistry
might even be there, especially if you're attracted to them, and then like, oh, can we meet up for a drink then? And then from the drink, figure out. I feel like that's the process of like having a hookup.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
unless you're a gay man, because they will just be like, here's the Addy and pull up.
The door's unlocked. Yeah. Come in, stick it in my hole. My hole is high and mighty.
Yeah.
And this is not dramatic. These are just stories.
This is like literally no shade whatsoever. That's just like literally.
These are the first person accounts.
Yes. This is from the gay's mouth to my ears.
And like, maybe even in between, right?
Yeah.
Maybe even hey, let's meet up at this bar for a drink, but I'm really gonna fuck you in the bathroom. Yeah. I need to see you, meet you, talk to you, see if the spark is there. Yeah. And then I will fuck you here.
Yeah, I love that.
That's kind of what I want.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm just kind of going on a rampage. I think
you've been bottled up like a little genie,
like a fucking like
somebody's
a Canada Dry that's been,
like a Mexican soda.
Yes, that's just been shaking around in your backseat for 8 months. Yeah, and I miss like touching fluids. I wish. This is what I was gonna say on the last episode about making out. It was in my outline, and I just remembered it. I realized I was kind of embarrassed by this because I was kissing a man. I kiss like I'm eating pussy. At some point, I was literally just like I had my head to the side, and I was just like moving my mouth like I would like if I was just like if the tongue was the clit.
Maybe that's what you need.
I think that's what I wanted. That's why I was so into it. Like I was like, wow, does he know that I'm doing this right now?
I'm literally thinking about pussy while I'm making out with this heterosexual man sitting on my fucking couch.
Literally. Like, and I couldn't stop. Once I realized what I was doing, I was like, yeah, I'm just going to keep doing this.
This is doing it for me. I'm going to just keep going.
He was into it, though.
Hey, as long as he was into it, he don't need to know what's going on in your brain.
No. I know he doesn't watch this. I pray he doesn't watch this.
If he does, so what? Get over it.
Not even for that. More just like, he's going to realize, I don't know. Anyway, moving on.
Does he want good puss or does he not? Like, come on.
Pick one.
Pick one.
Pick an adventure. Oh, wow. We haven't even gotten to pleasure moments. This is good. I wanted to talk to you about being friends with your ex real quick.
Yes.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Because now that I'm single, I love and adore my ex so much.
Yeah.
And we are really trying to like come up with a relationship that works for us right now. You know, we're not cold turkey people. So like we've been like chatting, but definitely not as much. Like we don't call each other at night anymore. You know, we don't always say good morning, but like we check in like almost every day.
Yeah.
Being friends with your ex can be difficult. I know you told me when I told you that we were broken up, you were like, don't rush into being friends. Like, it's not going to work. And I agree. Like, I 100% agree with you. I think at some point it'll probably backfire, I'm sure. But I know that you had an experience recently where you were with somebody for a while and then you broke up for almost the same amount of time that you were together. Yeah. And now that you were trying to rekindle that friendship, what has that been like? Please update me on this experience you've been waiting to tell me about.
Well, so yeah, my ex, she, you know, I've said multiple times, like, I wish that we could have just at least been friends because like we did have a good relationship and a good friendship in our relationship. And the way it ended was kind of like a big explosion of emotions and reactions. And like, yeah, it a lot of not too many positive things were said to me at the end, but at the end of the day, like even like you and I being friends, like it just at the end of the day, I think it just depends on the person and the connection as well. But like she reached out to me, and it's so crazy that she reached out to me because like a month prior, I was texting one of my other friends. I was texting Snow, and I was like, wow, what would it like? I don't know. Like I was just having a day where I really was like, wow, I wish I could just like talk to this person like how we used to just talk and joke around and go smoke and go eat and things like that, you know. But and like she was like, you know, sit on the thought, and then like if in a few weeks if you still feel the same way, then like go ahead and reach out. But then she reached out to me and she sent this message and basically was like, you know, I really appreciate the relationship we had and the things that you taught me while we were together. You know, basically just like saying all these things about like the love we shared and things like that. So, you know, because it was something I was already thinking about, I was like, oh yeah, like I think it would be cool to at least explore what you could be to me now and what we could be to each other right now and where we are right now. So we texted for a few weeks before we even met up. And we were just kind of like catching up. We would send voice notes and stuff, just like, oh, this is going on and this is going on. And how's your mom? How's your brother? How's your, you know, and so we're just catching up what's been going on for the last 2 years. And, I was very anxious about seeing her again in person. And so I didn't really have any plans to actually see her. Like I wanted to, but the anxiety, I was like, I don't know if I should, you know, but there was one show that she had because she is like a local artist as well. She did have a show, and I was like, you know, before we even started dating, I was such a huge fan of her. I didn't even like know her. Like I had never been to a show or anything like that. So realizing that the person I've been following on Twitter and like that we match on a fucking dating app and we're hitting it off and now we're going on a date, and me making that connection, I just thought that was so crazy. But anyway, I was always at her shows anyway. So I was like, oh, you know, such a great live performer, amazing voice, like everything like that. So I'm like, absolutely, you know, I'll go, but I'm about to bring my niggas with me. So I did invite Loon and Ren, and Red ended up coming as well. And I think that was more so Like, she was like, you're going to her show? And I said, yeah.
that.
And she was like, oh, well, I'm going.
Yeah,
and
I would have been like,
okay.
bitch, I'll be right next to you.
Yeah. So I ended up going. We went to the show, watched her perform. We smoked afterwards as a group, like her band members, some of her friends, my friends. And like, it was just really nice to be able to see her perform again. And like, I'm such a huge, like, I don't listen to her music now because of everything that's happened, but like, I was such a huge fan. And so I was like, oh, this is great. But the next day we planned to go out for Thai food. Mm-hmm. So that is where I was like, okay, if we're going to be friends, the only way for me to figure that out, if we can be friends, is to try to like hang out with her as I would hang out with one of my other friends. Mm-hmm. So I would go get Thai food with you. I would go get Thai food with Loon, with any of my other friends as well. So we went and got Thai food, and the thing I was looking for was, when we sit down and we talk, is this going to feel like I'm coming back to a friend? Is it like a friend I haven't seen in a really long time? Is that what it's going to feel like? Or am I going to feel like how I felt at the end of, once everything was done and we decided that we weren't, which feeling am I going to feel more of? So we were sitting there, we were talking, getting more in depth in like a check-in and like what we've been doing and stuff. And like halfway through the dinner, I had just made up my mind that we wouldn't go anywhere past where we were at the table. And like, that was just going to be it. There wasn't going to be any like, oh, come over to the game night. Let's go get a drink. Like, I didn't feel it, because the only thing I could think of was how I was told that like, I haven't felt loved by you in months, and I haven't, like, it just brought all of those things back. And that's all my brain could focus on, because now I'm feeling like, I don't want to feel like I'm being friends with you to make up for something. And I don't want to feel like you're trying to be friends with me because you feel guilty, or you feel like things could have gone a different way or a more positive way or anything like that, because she also said that. And I think it just feels different. It just like, and what I described it as to one of my friends, it may have been you, it may have been one of my other friends, but I was saying that it felt like a shoe that was half a size too small. Like that's what it felt like. So it's like, it fits, but it's uncomfortable. And if I walk around in it too long, my feet are going to be sore and swollen. That's what it felt like. So I was like, it doesn't feel like coming to have dinner with a friend. It doesn't feel like I forgot something in my apartment when she came, and I didn't even want her to come in my apartment. You know, I needed to go get a lighter. I didn't want her to come in. Like, you know, so it's like that kind of thing. And it just didn't feel right to where I was now. I feel like the person that she knew me as is the person that she still thinks I am. And I'm just not that person at all. Like, the way that relationship ended and everything that was said at the end really, really, like, I was very fucked up about that for a while. Like, I had no intention on even getting in any kind of serious connection after that, because that was like devastating for me, because I didn't think we were going to break up. I didn't think that, I thought that we would be able to work through any problem. And obviously that was not the case. Yeah. So, the way it ended, I think, is really what kept me from doing it. And when it comes to being friends with an ex, I think what's really important is, like, I know you were saying like you don't go cold turkey, you guys aren't cold turkey people. I just think that like taking space, like I taking space and taking that seriously. Like I understand like a check-in at the end of the week, a check-in like, you know, every now and then being like, oh, hey, or even like if you saw something, hey, this made me think of you, hope you're having a great day. Like something like that, I think is totally great to like keep the connection friendly and keep it open. But I think like once you shared this connection, I think that you need time, a good chunk of time. I'm not saying like 2 years like how it was for me. I'm just saying you need a good chunk of time where you can just be yourself and be by yourself and figure out what it even would look like just being regular friends with this person. Because if you can't even envision what that looks like, what are you working towards by consistently like checking in and like talking to each other and things like that?
Absolutely.
And I think that is what sets it up for like it not ending positively, because then, you know, you start feeling like, oh, we're friends, we can tell each other things, it's fine, and then you start like going out doing things, and then you obviously want to share it with this person, but you can't do that. And so what kind of friendship is that if you can't share what you're doing, who you're doing it with, the kind of connections that you're making, the activities you're getting into?
Absolutely.
Because you feel guilty or you feel like this person isn't going to take it well. What friendship is that if that's how you're walking around eggshells trying to share yourself with this person? And that, I think, is like really important to like get past. And the only way to get past that is to take time. That's the only way. Like, you know, like, I don't know, because
no, I agree. That's a great point. I mean, I see it like that. I guess I have a tendency to do what I feel like another person needs me to do in order for like
but their needs are their own,
right? I understand. I'm just, you know, the mechanics of getting there don't work for me. So like I get that. Like my therapist and I would talk about that. They're like, you need to, like, before we even broke up, she kept saying you need to have this conversation, like, because you need to have the conversation, not because you're concerned about like what else they have going on and that they can't handle the conversation. It's just your responsibility to say that. However, like I did say that like last week when they were calling me in the evening, and I was like, whether I was out with my parents, out with my friends, out with whoever the fuck, I wasn't answering. And then they would be like, why aren't you answering? And I would say, I feel like we need some like time to get used to like a new normal, which is what I was saying. Like we need a new normal. So I'm just trying to like give us time to not get used to speaking every day. And he was like, I can't go cold turkey. You know, I don't like change. So like, I need you to like. Okay,
but can you go cold turkey? Or
I think I probably could.
Okay, so then you saying that you guys aren't cold turkey people. He's not a cold turkey person, not you. And now you're conforming because of him saying that, and that makes you feel bad because you don't want him to be upset or sad because you care about him.
I will say my last relationship ended in a cold turkey manner. Like, I didn't even know that day was going to be that day, but like, we just never talked again. Best thing that could have happened. Like, it was hard like the first like week or two. And like, it's even hard now. Like, sometimes I'm like I have those moments like you where you're like, damn, I just really want to like I feel like they would love, like my ex would love the Willow album. They would love Cowboy Carter. And like, I want to like sit in the car and smoke and like listen to it with them and be like, don't you love this? Anyway, different ex. Current ex now. We're talking about them again. Like I think it would be beneficial, maybe even for them, but because
I guess like it makes me think like when you and I went on our hiatus when we first started being friends.
I was going to ask that because I don't remember that.
I definitely remember that because you also went to Mexico for a wedding as well.
No, yes.
And we I think it was like maybe a month that month and a half that we didn't say a word to each other.
Wow, that's crazy.
Didn't say a word because I can't imagine that now.
No, I couldn't.
I'm like, if you didn't talk to me for a month, I'd come and find you.
Wow.
But like we took the time, and then I was like, okay, I'm ready to talk. And you were like, okay, I'll be ready to talk on this day. And then we met for lunch and we caught up, and then we had a different conversation on a different day about like what it would look like for us. But we still took time. And during that time, it was just reevaluating where we would fit, what it would look like us going forward. And I feel like we really kept with what that looks like for us. And I think that time of us not talking was really beneficial to our relationship that we have now. So like that you and me is like the main like thing. And that's also what had me like motivated to try to be friends with my ex, because I'm like, obviously I'm capable of doing that shit and like going forward and things being perfect. But I just think that it depends on how it ends. It depends on the person. It depends on all of those things. And like, you don't know until you don't, like, you both are still having influence on each other's feelings.
Yeah.
So how can you move forward with without looking through rose colored lenses if you still have them on?
Yeah.
So I think being friends with an ex is totally possible. I just think that it depends on the ex, and it depends on the situation, and it depends on how you both taking time away from each other. Yeah. But it's like him wanting you to be there still and like talk to him without going cold turkey. That's his own thing to figure out. That's not up to you to satiate that part of what he needs to move forward. What does Courtney need to move forward, and how can Courtney be a better friend to him going forward? You know, so
yeah, I definitely think it does involve us. Like after that time, we have to have the same goal. I feel like you and I really had the same goal. Yeah. So we were like, okay, well, whatever happens in between there, like we'll just figure it out because we're just trying to get to the same place. Because
like if we're not gonna be friends, then we're not gonna be friends. But that wasn't an option of us not being friends.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, I think just using this as an example, I think if I were, as much as I want to reach out to my other ex, I wouldn't. I
would hit you in the mouth.
Okay. Okay. A lot to process.
Mostly because like,
I know.
It's just you gotta treat my bitches right, okay? And if you can't do that, then get the fuck out of here.
But also like I've been doing a lot of self-reflecting too. Yeah. And I realized like I'm not saying that me not being the best partner was an excuse to be treated like I was treated, right? Yeah. But I think there's a lot of nuance in the way that I see my relationships with like my significant others that I have to really like do some mother wound healing on.
Absolutely.
And I can understand how like, I don't want to validate their experience cheating on me.
Yeah.
That's
not cool.
But there's just nuance. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah. Like it's not 100% at fault. Like for
a cheating bully does not deserve you in any way.
Not a bully, girl. Not a bully. Yeah, he couldn't be a bully.
Yeah. Sometimes he would tell me things that he would say to you, and I'm like, what?
I would not let a person talk to me like that now. I don't think, which is why I also just loved my recent ex who never got a name because I couldn't decide one.
Yeah, and he didn't like the ones that you gave him.
Anyway, so thanks for that, Lex. I'll have to keep you updated on how those conversations go. But I do think, at some point, like we're gonna have a conversation. And it's funny because they told me the other day, they were like, oh, maybe I'll tune in to the last few episodes. Right. And I was like, why would you do that? And he was like, well, you just like count my, I like to count my view and like whatever. And I was like, all you're gonna do is just like skip through to like find some dirty shit to like. That's what I feel. And you're gonna hyperfixate on little things and the things that you hint about or the things that you talk about. Well, when was this? Who was this? Who is it? Who is it? Do I know them? Have I met them? Is that like it's just a lot. And so I'm expecting that like soon. And I have like I hate to say like my ammo, but I'm just like, look, if this is like what you chose to listen to the podcast, we're not together. If you can't handle this, that's fine. Then we need to like. I don't see why someone would put themselves through. It's like, why self-torture your own self? Yeah. Like, why do you want to torture yourself? I don't feel like I'm necessarily in a position where I want to like say, hey, like I didn't feel like that conversation was a time for me to be like, okay, well, you'll hear me talk about how I was with some other person. Yeah. Like maybe I should have, but I just was like, I don't want to get into that. Yeah, but why do you have to though? That's my question. Why is it any of his business? He doesn't have to listen to the podcast. Right. And if he's choosing to listen to a pleasure positive podcast where we talk about our pleasurable moments and things that we do that relate to the topic at hand, that will include sex with others. Yeah. So like if that's maybe not he wasn't thinking I would have had sex. So you're soon. A fine ass bitch. Please get out of here. And also, I've been cooped up for like I am just dealing with the aftermath of not literally feeling like I have not been like touched. Like I am acting so feral right now because whenever I touch another human being, like their skin, like I literally feel like what is happening to me. Like,
and like also no one can fault you for how you choose to move forward and how you choose to move on from that period. Like no one can judge you or fault you for that, especially not the person who like kind of contributed to where you are right now. So
believe it or not, we have an episode. And if you have never listened to us before, we like to start off our episodes usually with a pleasure moment. But I had to some things I had to get off my chest, and I really wanted to hear about your experience with your ex, who we never really had a name for, because I think we
did have a name for her, but now that
what was their name?
Their first name for their stage name.
Okay.
And so now I'm like, I don't. Especially since peace has been made. I'm not trying to.
Never. I was just trying to use a term for them, but without having to say them. But that's fine. I told you in reverse, right?
Yes.
Like, I told you, I was like, this isn't like I was. Oh, okay. So when you texted me this, bitch, I was at a gala dinner. I was at the biggest night of our like thing that I was working for.
What did I text you?
That you were that you were out, or that you were.
Oh,
I think
I went to
Friday.
The show. Maybe
so. It was a Friday night, so maybe that you were going to go to the show, and I was just like sitting there, literally like eating like fantastic shrimp, and I was just like. What the fuck? And like people around me were like, are you okay? And I'm like, no, like my friend is like really pissing me off because why are we opening these doors? And you just kept saying, well, like, I'm just trying to see what's inside.
Because I'm just trying to see.
And I respect that, but I was just like, why this person? But that's my own personal, like, I just felt like because they were saying all this wild shit about you and I, that I was just like, why are we even opening the door?
But that also went into the factoring of like, what about where it would go, but I just wanted like I don't know, I just wanted to see that, and Red was not happy about it at all. She was very not for it. She was upset, and she you're gonna go have dinner with the love of your life now, and I'm like, please.
She's like so dramatic.
Yes, I love it. Like I think it's funny, but obviously I wasn't laughing at her because that would have made it worse. But like I completely understood where she was coming from, but that was also a factor because you and I even spend so much time together now and we do so many things, and like I don't want to be like, oh well, I want to have this, but you can't come because Courtney's gonna like.
I would just
that's just too much. And even me, I didn't even want to put you guys in the same room because I felt like especially after she said, I see you and Courtney's relationship for what it is now, that really pissed me off actually. Like when she said that really pissed me off because I'm like, ever since we broke up, you and I have still been in the same kind of synergy going on. Like we've been doing nothing really changed. So it just is crazy to me because it's like, that's what I was trying to tell you anyway. And now after all this stuff has happened and you've had like other partners and all these other things, now you're like, oh wow, I really see Lex for who she was and what she was doing and what she was saying. Like, you know, so it was just that really like when she said that, I like actually was kind of irritated by that.
Yeah. I definitely don't have any like ill will towards her at all.
Yeah, at all.
I really don't. It's just more like, damn, we really said those things though.
Yeah.
And we tried to, and like, I felt like I did a really good job within the dynamic of saying like, of like reassuring her and like making sure she always felt like included and like very welcome. Very welcome.
I'm just saying there were a few instances where I feel like that should not have been a worry anyway. Like,
So, but you know, people, I'm done.
But
anyway,
I don't know. But you know what's so funny is whenever I talk about us with Red, she's always like, you and Courtney are like, I don't give a fuck. And I'm like, yeah, that's how it fucking should be. Like she, and like, you know, even being like really open about like our dynamic and like how many different dynamics we've had and can have, like,
and the fact that she can just digest that and understand that is fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's
so I can go out and have a sleepover at Courtney's. I can go out and forget about my phone and be with Courtney. I can go and do whatever with Court, and she's just gonna be like, be safe.
Cool. Catch you later.
Thanks. I'll see you when I come back.
Being secure. That's the word I was looking for.
Yes.
It's all about your personal insecurities. I think they just had a lot of insecurities that they were working through at that time. And so I understand that. I don't fault you for it. I just wish you wouldn't have said those things, bitch.
Yeah. And when she messaged me on Instagram, it was so crazy because when she messaged me on Instagram, the messages above her message were all of the messages that she said the last time.
After I pressed send on that, I actually would have just resent the message and blocked you. So that we wouldn't even have to acknowledge that the transition was that intense.
Yeah, because I don't really delete things. I don't know who's calling me. I don't really delete things. So yeah.
Anyway, pleasure moment. Every week we have a pleasure moment where we talk about the most pleasurable part of our fucking weeks. Mm-hmm. Lex, what was your pleasure moment this week?
We did a lot of VTO this week at work. So like
voluntary time off?
Yeah. Okay, so like we got so ahead in like things that we needed to do that it'd be like 3:00 and they'd be like, who wants to leave? I'm like, bitch, I'm going home. The fuck? I can skip traffic. I'm going home.
I love an early day.
So I think I had like maybe 2 early days this past week. And I went to a behavioral therapist.
Oh, yeah. How did that go?
That went really well. I have a lot of anxious tics. I realized that now because I was super anxious while I was there, like doing the whole thing. And like
it was in person?
Yeah.
That's great.
And she was asking me, like, literally spent an hour asking me all these different wide range questions. And like the whole time I was like just fucking ticking, like the whole fucking time. And so I have an appointment to see a psychiatrist so I can get medicated for things. And there's like a safety plan, and she gave me like a bunch of referrals for different counselors and things like that.
That's good.
So yeah, just one step closer to understanding how my brain works.
Yes, it's a process.
Love that.
Yes, love that for you.
Yeah. What about you?
My pleasure moment this week actually was the other day when we went to watch Apollo Soul perform in Deep Ellum.
Oh, that was so fun. That was a good night.
It felt like old times a little bit, you know?
Yeah,
like when we used to just be like every weekend there was a show and like we would just wait around for them to come on and just like fuck around and like, get a little drunk, a little tipsy, be outside in the summertime.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was very nice. And it made me miss performing. It really just made me miss like 2019.
Yeah, what an
like
era.
2020 before COVID. 2020
was an era. 2019, 2020 was an era.
It was a good time.
Yeah.
That was definitely my pleasure moment, except for after. I was mad because I kept like when I was pissed off at home thinking about how we spent like an extra $30 to stay out in Deep Ellum for an extra 30 minutes before we realized that this place fucking sucks.
Yeah.
I was at home like slamming dishes around and I was like, fuck, there were so many things we could have done with that time. And I will tell you off the air so we could do it next time. But like whenever we're bored, we need a plan. Because Deep Ellum is fucking boring. I was like, where are the fucking gay people? Well, not
it's
even actually
not straight people.
Not even that. I think that's partially it. Yes, for sure. But also like because they're straight people, they play terrible music.
Yeah.
They were playing horrible music in all the clubs. The drinks are expensive. I didn't even try to get a drink.
Why did I pay $15 for a margarita?
Wild.
Like, that shit makes no fucking sense. I can get a $6 shot at Sue Ellen's, bro. Like, what
and then
do you
the
mean?
drinks don't even be tasting like they're really like
that margarita
got it in them.
That margarita tasted like the margarita mix with like a hint of tequila in it. I was like
2 shots at the gay bar and we'd have been on our ass.
I'm saying. Yeah. Sweating and throwing ass.
And everybody like just kind of stands also. Yeah. Like nobody dances like at the gay bars.
And there's too many fucking niggas.
Not enough bitches. Not enough bitches for the niggas. I'm not even talking about I'm not even talking about for my motherfucking self. I'm just saying like there are not enough bitches for all you niggas. Y'all niggas ride deep. Y'all niggas be showing up in one Uber with 10 niggas in the Uber.
Them two niggas approaching you and our friend, and then y'all being like, I'm good, and then immediately moving to other bitches. Fucking wild. I was like, you niggas have no decorum or class. Y'all just looking for some coochie to take with you back to whoever couch you're staying on, and that's just gonna be that. Oh,
it just wasn't a good time being, like, in that street. It wasn't for me personally. This guy asked me, he walked up to me and asked me, "Hey, what do you do?"
What?
Like, not like, "Hey, I'm Cameron. Hey, I'm Johnny. What's your name?" He said, "Hey, what do you do?" And I literally was like, what? And our other friend had to come up to me and be like, "Courtney, I think he's just asking you, like, what you do for a living." I don't give a fuck. Why would you ask me like that? I don't fucking know you.
Why would I tell you that?
Why would I tell you that?
You're trying to see what's in my wallet.
You sound like an FBI agent. You sound like my boss.
Asking security questions. Hell no.
No. But, you know, I just won't be out in Deep Ellum. That's not my ministry.
I like to go to the neighborhood. I like to go to the gays.
If I'm going to be out on the streets, I will be at the neighborhood. But other than that, I love going to just regular bars.
Yeah.
Like
Double D's is fun.
Yeah, like going to a regular bar, going to a game night. I'm just my view of fun is just different.
Yeah.
It's just different. So Deep Ellum is not that anymore, which is fine because everybody out there looked like 21, fresh off the whatever 20-year-old train. I don't fucking know. Okay. Every episode we also have a pleasure principle.
Yes.
Our pleasure principle is like the meat and potatoes of the episode. And ironically, we just got done talking about our exes, but our exes are pretty much like the bulk of my experience. At least, with this. So this will be interesting to talk about.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the art of strapping.
Yes.
A game of give and take. You know? Like, I feel like it's not the same as like fucking regular dick.
It's
like,
not.
When I transitioned from the
dick to the plas-dique.
Yeah, thank you. It was an adjustment. So I wanted to like do an episode where we talked about this, and I wanted to do it for so long. Yeah. But I just keep skipping over it for some reason. I don't know. Maybe I feel like I wasn't in a place to talk about it, but now I'm definitely in a place to talk about it. Yeah. So obviously I am no longer in a relationship, but I was in a relationship with a trans man. And so that was like the main sex we had. We had our friend, our person, our thing. And like that was just the main sex. Yeah. So I can definitely give you some advice on taking, but I do know my good co-host, my good sis over here, like has some experience with giving. So I'm just going to ask you some questions. Okay. And like, I want to hear your experience.
I do love slinging dick. I'm not going to lie.
Wow.
It's very fun. I do like it.
You like it?
Yeah. Especially like when I look like this and like I have like my face on and like a cute lacy bra on and like my titties are out. Yeah. I'm like, yeah.
Wow.
I like
you turning yourself on?
Yeah.
Like, is it the fact that like, yeah, I look this good and I'm about to like.
It's also like watching. It's like watching whoever I'm fucking as well. Like that is like really sexy to me. And like love a good mish. Yeah. Love a good mish.
Ooh, yeah.
And like love holding legs in a good mish. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. I love it. And I'm a multitasker as well. So like I can touch pussy and fuck pussy at the same time.
Oh yeah.
Fucking love that shit. Yeah. Also love a good like doggy as well. Love that.
Wow. Take it fucking slow.
Sorry.
I'm asking the questions around here.
Sorry.
I'm bad. Slinging this dick rodeo.
Okay.
Yeah. So I obviously had to get creative with the ways to make it feel a little bit more intimate and as close as possible. I also like to suck strap. So we're going to be talking a little bit about that today. I have had like a few other experiences being strapped down. I don't hate it. It's just all around a pretty good time when you know how to do it right. Obviously, there's like some struggles with taking strap. One, in which I just talked about, lack of physicality, which I think is more related to the partner than the actual act of strapping. Like, yes, it's a plas-dique, so you're not gonna feel like the warmth of like something inside of you that's like human and beating, you know. But depending on your partner, they should be like filling that physical void in other ways, like just bringing you very close to them. Yeah. Like making sure like other parts of your body are stimulated, because it really can just feel like very like transactional. Like an item is just like going in and out. Yeah. I don't, it's not always great. It's like that. Another challenge might be that like a partner has to be mindful of your limits and the depth of their strokes. Because
and they can't like feel it.
Yeah, they can't feel it. Exactly.
Yeah.
So like they don't really know. So you have to be communicative, but also like they need to be like watching your reactions to see like when things might be like a little too intense and they need to back off. And like, this is just a suggestion. I've never done this before, and it doesn't really work if you have a black dick. Maybe get like some kind of like apparatus, like a piercing or like a thumbtack.
There are silicone pieces that you can put on a strap that kind of tell you where to stop.
Okay, thank you.
Depth wise,
I've seen those.
So there are things you can buy and order for that.
It's a buffer,
so you don't have to put a thumbtack on a fucking plas-dique. And
thank you. It looks like a donut, right?
Vagina. Yeah,
and like you put it on.
It works on like
real dicks too.
On a dick as well, on like a physical dick as well.
It, like you just slide it to the back, and then it gives you like, so that you physically can't like insert yourself in deeper. Okay.
And some of them vibrate too, so
give you that stimulation on the outside
and the person as well, like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Lovely. Okay. So yeah, that's a good suggestion. A little bumper car situation. Also another challenge, you need constant lube.
Yeah.
So invest in a good lube. Like, don't try to use like the $5, $6 lube. It's not going to be good.
Yeah.
If you invest in a $25 bottle of lube, you probably
need less of it.
Exactly. Like,
to
it goes
use it
much farther, and like you'll thank yourself, because you know, when you are fucking with material that is not human, and even when you're fucking with human skin, there's like little micro tears, and like you be waking up in the morning like, fuck, like when you
going
pee,
to take a piss and it's like
burn. The burn is like comparable to childbirth. You know, you're like, wow, I can't piss for 12 hours. Like, what the fuck? Get good lube. Another one would be, this is a personal feeling. I mark this as personal. Feeling like you have to compensate what feels good to you for the other person's pleasure. I've never been asked to do this, but I'm always like, you know, they can't even really feel it. So like, I'm going to make sure I can get in the best position for them to like visualize, feel it or visualize it. And like, in that case, my partner really liked doggy style. I don't. It's not my cup of tea. I'll do it like for 5 minutes. So you got 5 minutes to like get yourself there. And after that, I'm tapping out. But like, I would do that. So I think, I talk about tips. So I guess I'll get to that then. But like, it depends on how comfortable. It just depends on how you all are comfortable having sex. So not every relationship wants to have their shirt off, or wants to be in doggy style or missionary, or wants to have their like chest in your face. Like, all those things can be a factor on how you want to have sex, but it's just really about being communicative about what you need. And then your partner will tell you what they need. Yeah. And then you can come up with a good compromise. Yeah. Yeah. And if there's no compromise, then you guys shouldn't have sex. Yeah. So yeah.
I agree.
What would you say some of the struggles are for you as a giver?
Probably like stamina.
Yes.
That's probably it. Yes. I don't mind like being sweaty. I never mind it. I think it's just like, I'm so committed to making sure that like you're not having the same experience as you would like with actual penis. I want it to be elevated. So like, you know, if you're saying like there and wherever I am, that's where I am so focused on like keeping it in that exact like stroke, speed, smack, like all of it. Like I'm focusing on keeping it just like that. So I think sometimes because it can take people different lengths of time to like orgasm and stuff, I think that like that's where the stamina comes in. So yeah. But like that's not even a complaint for me, because you can spur me on in your own ways. Okay, you can give me a second wind
motivation
in your own ways. Yeah,
baby, I'm gonna be your motivation.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I will say one thing that I do love whenever I was strapping is like whenever they would like reach their hand underneath and like play with my pussy like while I'm oh my God, please.
So I didn't do like the hand, but like I would use a vibrator and like reach, like especially during like doggy or like anywhere where you're close enough. Yes, I loved doing that.
Yes,
just a little extra stim. Any other struggles? I want to say you givers, respect. Because like I be trying to fake pump in my room sometimes, and I'm like, God, my back hurts. Like,
it's the stance. It's like the stance, and you're using your lower back, but like your hips as well. Think of it like throwing ass.
But like forward instead of backwards. Yeah. Yeah. Either way, it just seems like, and also like holding yourself up, holding up your body weight with your arms, like things like the small things. I just respect you guys so
my
much.
favorite mish is like on the edge of the bed though, like
like
off the edge of the bed and I'm standing.
Yeah,
holding,
I love that
pulling.
position.
That one is like definitely one of my favorites because I can see everything and I have freedom to like touch everything.
Yes,
so
that's
like
one of my favorite positions to take strap in.
Yeah, and so like if we are like if we are skin to skin like that, it's usually like doggy and I'm usually like titty to back,
love
like
that.
that way, or like on my knees up and I have you like by your neck like up to me.
Ooh,
and
how do you
that
stroke
way.
like that? Or like just you did the bounce?
It's the same way. You kind of like lower yourself a little and then just keep going how you usually do. And like as long as they have their hips angled right, it's fine.
Okay, love that. Any other struggles that you face?
No, those are probably like the only ones. I very much enjoy like slinging dick around. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. Very, very much.
Hold on. I'm adding questions.
Okay.
Yes, I loved that. I loved that stamina is also an issue for you. I applaud you.
Yeah. I don't like being on the bottom either.
What?
Like I don't.
Your tits move too much or what?
No, they don't look comfortable. Like the person I'm fucking doesn't look comfortable. And so I want them to be comfortable. Really? So it's like I'm not forcing you to get on top.
I don't love being on top when I like riding plastic.
Like when you want to, I'm for it. But usually when I'm for it, I want to be at an angle so I can see everything.
Yeah. I get that.
That's the main thing. But like most of the time, most people aren't very comfortable with riding. Yeah. So like I'm like, I want to do this however you're comfortable. I'm not forcing you to get in any position you don't want to.
I'm not super comfortable riding either, but I'm not worried about like getting a full stroke in because they're not going to feel it. So I really can just like maintain however much penetration I want. I could just straight like ride, grind on like
that is a really good one though. As a giver, like when they are on top and they're just like down, like pushed coochie down all the way to the belt. Yeah, because then they're like moving the thing and it's on your clit and it's like pressure moving. And that's like my favorite on my clit.
The pushing of the back and forth.
Even when I'm getting my pussy, I'm like that. Yeah.
I have a few tips for taking. Number one is obviously communication. If something doesn't feel great, let them know because they don't feel it anyway, so they need to change it up. Like there's really no reason why they shouldn't. Second, if you're a pleaser, learn the positions that give you both the best stimulation at the same time. That was the biggest hang up for me is like I'm used to like I really like reactions from my partners. Like I want to see how good this pussy feels. I want to know how good you're feeling. But that's harder to do when they can't feel it. So I try to put them in positions where I know they're going to feel something. That way I can like...
That's why you use your words.
Huh?
Like when you're giving, that's why you use your words. That's why you like talk to them.
Oh, for sure. No, for sure. And they like... I was getting communicated with as well. But I liked certain positions because I knew like I could see them and I knew it felt good. So like cowgirl is one of them because you're just grinding on them. They can feel the rhythm, the motion. They're watching your titties bounce like this.
Absolutely.
I like to like put a little hand on the throat and like run it like that. And then flat on the stomach is another good grinding position. It's my favorite position always, but also really good for givers because they can just like literally just grind up against the back of your waist. They get a great view of your ass.
Put a pillow there so you can arch, so the person getting doesn't have to arch as much.
Yes. They can pull on your hair if you like that and bring you closer to them. I love that position. That one's a great one. Third tip, pick your dick.
Yeah.
Go choose one together. Ask to feel it before you buy it to make sure it's not too hard or too soft for you. Make sure it's going to fit in the harness the O-ring that's provided to you or that you got with your harness. That's a huge one. Like I always feel so bad for people when they say like, oh, this dick is too big for the harness, for the O-ring. Make sure you get a flexible O-ring if you're not sure. We started off with a dick that was like their personal favorite, and it was just too girthy and hard for me. So we went and we picked one out, and the first day we used it, it was like, it was way different. Yeah. It took a second to get used to like the new material. I will say that, but like it just really changed how we were able to have sex and like the positions we were able to get in, because I was more comfortable with the size of the dick. Like, don't let them fucking tell you like, I'm attached emotionally to this piece. Please get the fuck. Please.
You're gonna piss me off.
Okay. Warm it up. If you have a thermoplastic dick, which you can ask the people when you're going to like buy these toys at the toy store. They should know these things. Real Rock, I think.
Yeah, Real Rock is a thermoreactive one.
Thermoreactive.
Yeah, you don't put it in the microwave or anything. You just get like hot water and let it sit in the hot water for a while, and that'll warm up the core of the toy, and it'll hold the heat as well.
So it feels a little more realistic. Yeah, a little more body temperature vibes. Not so like cold and hard. That's a good suggestion, especially like when you guys want to really get intimate and like feel each other.
Yeah.
Invest in the best lube. Like I said, it's expensive, but ultimately worth it because you won't have to use as much. And then also you'll have less skin irritation from all the friction of like going in and out at a force like that.
Yeah.
And then the last tip I have is for oral. So definitely use the vibrator while you're sucking the strap. I love doing that. I feel like I pride myself in giving really good head in general, but like there's something about making somebody come from the head and they can't even feel it. Yeah. And I'm talking without the vibrator. Yeah. So like really put your all in it. My suggestion is to use a lot of spit. Get the noises. Get the gagging. Get the do a little moaning like
It's a performance, babe.
It is genuinely it's a performance. I give eyes, I give face, I give body. I put that booty in the air, bitch. Turn that nigga out, okay? Like, you don't have to feel this mouth to get this mouth. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But yeah, if that's not your cup of tea, if like getting super sloppy and like gagging is not your cup of tea, grab the vibrator and you can just put it underneath the harness for them and just hold it. And like I like to mimic like the motions that I'm doing with my mouth. So like as I'm moving, I'll kind of like move the vibrator, or like if I get hard, I'll like, just match the vibrator with like my mouth so that it feels more realistic. Yeah. So I love doing that. And that was like my main tips for strapping that. I feel like as a taker, it takes into consideration your partner and like making sure they feel pleased, but also like still making sure that your needs are met. Yeah. What about you? Do you have any tips?
For giving?
Yes, for giving.
I've actually never taken. Wait,
no, giving.
I don't want to say I've never taken strap because that would be a lie. I have.
Oh, you have
a couple times, like a very small handful.
Wait, we'll talk about that in the questions for the gals.
Okay. But I would say leverage is important. Okay. So like wherever your hips are going, however your leverage and like making sure you're comfortable is like really important, but definitely like leverage, which is another reason why I like standing off the bed and like even like kind of pushing the mattress a little and using the box spring to put my knees on. Yeah. Yeah. So if I don't want to like stand, it's just like having leverage, because like if you're thrusting and then the other person is also like you need leverage. I feel like that's like the biggest thing. Yeah. And then like you're not using like your back. Like you are using your back, but you're using your lower back and your hips mostly. So like I said, it's like throwing ass. Yeah. So that same motion is exactly what you're going to be doing. And like it's a curve, not a straight forward and back. That is like also really
that. I literally felt that in my body. The difference.
Yeah, you don't just go straight forward and back. You curve. Like that's how you should be moving your hip to like
just like you would move your hand.
Exactly.
Lovely. Any more tips?
Definitely like pay attention to like your partner and their reactions to things, like you were saying. That's like really important, I think.
Yeah.
Would probably be my tips.
100%, if not the most important thing, right?
Yes.
As you know, we always have questions for the gals. You kind of answered this a few times, but do you enjoy using the strap in the bedroom? And is it something that you'd bring up? So like if your partner never said, I like really like taking dick sometimes, would you bring it up to her to take dick?
Yeah, if it was something that I knew like even if she didn't say that she did or did not enjoy it, I would probably bring it up. But like knowing like my partner now, like that's not at the top of her list. It's not something I ever like suggest because I know what the answer most likely will be.
Yeah.
And like I want to do whatever my partner is comfortable with. That is what turns me on. Like we don't have to be doing 1,000,012 things all the time, every single time we have sex. Like how can I get you to have the best orgasm ever? And I want to do that, you know? But I love giving strap. Like I absolutely do.
I never really knew this about you.
Yeah, and like my ex got that shit as often as possible. It's something that she also really enjoyed.
Yeah, I remember that.
So, you know, and sometimes like it can be like you're not that you're enjoying it too much. It's just like that might be one thing that I don't always want to do at some point.
Right.
But like she enjoyed it enough for me to also like really perfect doing that. Yeah, but like and really like realize how much I love doing it because I really do love doing it. It's so much fun.
I have been really like into that. I really want to do. I want to give a strap at some point. I want to be. I want to be like a good top, which is also why I did this episode now because I'm like I really need your tips.
Yeah.
You know? Have you ever orgasmed while strapping somebody down?
I've gotten really close. I think I'm too focused on making sure they orgasm to focus on my own.
Yeah.
But take that strap off, it's a fucking waterfall. I have definitely had points where like I'll take the strap off and like you can see how wet I am like dripping off my own pussy. So like that is how much I enjoy it. So like there have definitely been those times and like I've had to like wash my harness because like it just has all my juices on it. So I'm like, you know, there's that. But I've gotten really close, but I haven't like actually like had an orgasm giving strap. But I'm just so focused on making sure that you're having the best one. And like,
yeah,
I love it when a bitch cry when she has an orgasm. Oh my God.
How
that
many
shit
times
right
does that
there.
happen to you?
Pretty frequently.
Okay, Mr. Bitches over here. Like, what the
Pretty frequently.
I don't think I've ever cried after having an orgasm. Okay. So that I remember, that I can recall. Next question. How do you put on a harness? Like
underwear that don't have a crotch.
How do you get it lined up? I'm honestly, that's the part I'm scared of. Like, I don't want to be in a bitch's house in the bathroom, like freaking out.
So
trying to
you
put this
need
thing on.
the part that's going to go on your hips, like the biggest circle, find that first. And then once you put your legs through, the other straps are like, hold that part. That's I think that's where people like get confused is like, and then like it's a triangle.
Right.
So, and the flat part of the triangle, like the flat part of the triangle and then the peak is at the bottom. So also just hold it like that. Wherever the flat part is, hold that part up, hold it out, put your legs in.
Step in it like panties.
Yeah, this literally is just like crotchless panties.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What kind of strap do you use? Like I know I used sport sheets.
Yeah, I have a sport sheets one still. Yeah, I bought a whole new strap and everything. I haven't even used it. But I bought a sport sheets
special
harness.
edition one?
No, it's not. It's one of the like entry level ones.
Okay, yeah.
Because I don't think like for me to be comfortable, I just needed to be able to fit over my ass and thighs.
Yeah,
like that's really.
Yeah,
it.
My partner had issues like with the thighs and like the waist part.
Yeah.
But they also had like, boxer version, which they liked. I feel like it doesn't give you enough. Like,
it doesn't stay. It doesn't. It's not pressed up against the skin enough.
Yes, yeah. It like kind of makes the dick kind of floppy.
Yeah.
But I also doesn't think it gives you a good enough range of motion. Honestly, I feel like it's such a hip forward activity. Like you don't want to be like constricted by spandex shorts because that's essentially what they are.
Yeah.
So it's not for everybody, but
I like the traditional harness, and my ass looks so good in a strap. Like,
imagine
ass hit, like that shit looks. I look so good in a strap. So there's that too.
Yeah, I'm horny. I don't know.
You're welcome.
Last question. Have you ever strapped boys?
No, I haven't, but it is on my list. And when I say a strap a boy, I'm talking a femboy.
Yeah, like a little twink or like a femboy.
Like a femboy.
Like, are you like you're still fucking pussy or what? Or you fucking bussy?
Bussy.
Okay.
Like a
trans woman or something.
No, I mean yeah, that too, but like I mean mostly like a man who is also feminine.
Okay.
So when you say twink, I think white gay, and that's not what I want.
I just mean a feminine
gay man.
Feminine gay man.
Yes, I would absolutely.
Cool.
And they love lesbians, but they don't like the femme lesbians.
You gotta butch it up, baby.
The fuck?
Just a little bit. All you wear a little wife beater.
I just feel like my titties are too big to be doing all that.
No, actually,
I don't
part of the appeal.
And I don't like the uniboob look for myself.
I don't think actually. You know what's crazy? I didn't picture them going in. I pictured them going out. So like, I picture you in a wife beater, but like your tits are like falling out the sides.
Oh, okay.
Or like like if it's a crop, like the bottom a little bit.
Mm-hmm. I just can't see myself. I feel like I'm butch in spirit.
Yeah.
But not in physicality.
Yeah.
Or style.
Oh my God. Should we like
gender swap? Is that?
Yes.
I knew you were going to say that. You want to go out just like Soulja Boy?
Yes. I want to dress you up like Soulja Boy. And
Okay.
I'm going to go out with you.
I'm open to that.
I love it. Put it on the list.
I'm open to that. We could do that. We could do that as a side quest.
I love it. Fuck yeah. I want to like strap a little. I want to strap boys too. I really want to strap like a trans mask. I really do. And I'm going to do it. It's actually already on the calendar. Like I know when I'm going to do it and I'm going to do it. And I'm really nervous, but I'm like really fucking excited because like whenever that's the only thing, last night we were talking about like how masturbating sometimes is just very infuriating.
It like pisses me off sometimes.
That's how I've been feeling. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the only thing that makes me come like hard. It's like picturing me just like fucking the shit out of this little like
bussy boy.
This little bussy boy.
Yeah.
Such a good boy. It's like a little pretty pussy.
Yeah. Love that for you.
And he loves it when I say that. So
yes.
continue to say it.
I've had sex with a trans mask before in a play party, but he didn't like when we called, like he wanted it to be called his dick. So you know.
I think the language is interchangeable. So like when I'm putting my mouth on it, I like to say like your dick is in my mouth. But then like when I'm fucking it's like I call it little pussy.
Yeah, obviously.
Well. Another episode has come and go.
Another fucking episode, bitch.
I hope you have I hope you learned some good tips, whether you're a top or a bottom or everything in between.
Or you're being friends with your ex or not.
Or you're being friends with your ex.
Mm-hmm.
We really covered some topics today.
We
some
did.
Gay topics.
We did. We really did.
So yeah, I hope you learned something. If you really enjoyed this episode, you can like and subscribe to our YouTube, comment. Definitely do the same on Spotify podcasters. Go ahead and rate us. Same on Apple Podcasts, wherever you find your podcast, you could rate us there. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at allyourpleasures_. Join our Pleasure Babe community, babes. We be posting, we be over there having a good time. So yeah, whether you're listening to this on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we love you.
Bye.